Just got this soloing question from a subscriber. They wrote in and said, I will give you a little background. I am 58 this Thursday. I played for about 2 years from 93 to 95. I picked it up again the Sunday after Thanksgiving in 2022, and I haven't put it down since. I try to dedicate 8 to 10 hours a week. I've been watching your videos along with others the whole journey. My brother-in-law is a fantastic lead guitarist, but a horrible teacher. Bottom line, my rhythm guitar playing is very comfortable. I would love to be more adventurous and break out with my soloing. First off, happy birthday, and that's awesome that you're getting back into guitar and it sounds like you're loving it. 8 to 10 hours a week is a solid amount. So keep that up. Now I hear this from a lot of guitar players that say, oh, my rhythm is comfortable, I've been strumming, but I really want to break out and start playing more lead guitar. And it's tough, there are a lot of great lead players out there, but they can't explain what they're doing or give students a real step-by-step process to follow that works. So what I would advise to you is the first thing you want to do is start adding some licks to your vocabulary. So you want to add about 1 to 5 to your practice bi-weekly. And once you start doing this, you're going to notice a lot of things improving with your playing. So under this umbrella of learning licks, here are 3 ways that this is really going to improve your soloing. So the first is that, let me just give you an example here to demonstrate this. Licks get you speaking the language of the music fast. And this means you won't have to spend a ton of time memorizing scales or theory. You essentially just get to skip over that and go straight to improvising. So if I played a lick like right away, I've got a blues feeling going on. And if I thought about all the theory that is involved in just that one little lick that I played, it's like, okay, well, if I'm in the key of A, I've got the root note going up to the minor third, which is slid into the major third, which is C sharp. Then I walk up the notes E to F sharp, which come from, you could think, the major pentatonic scale. So you gotta know the major pentatonic. And then here I did this B.B. King thing, which is going to the minor blues scale. So it's like, okay, I gotta know intervals, I gotta know the major pentatonic, I gotta know the blues scale, I gotta understand, how this connects. Like, there's just so much in there, and I could give you a list of a ton of things to do, and this is what players find, then they just get overwhelmed and sort of just power down their brain and give up. And so you could go that approach, but I've never seen it work for anybody, versus just when I played that, I didn't think about any of those things that I broke down sort of in step time, right? I just went for the feeling and I knew where it was under my fingers, and this essentially let me skip over all the boring stuff and get straight into improvising. So the second thing I want to talk about is that licks can increase your speed when you know how to practice them right. And 99% of guitar players do not know how to practice licks correctly. They play the licks in the same spot on the neck, and they always just do the same thing with the licks. Once they learn it, they're like, oh, I got it, I can play it, I learned it. But there's so much more. In fact, there's ways that I teach my students to get 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more value from any lick you learn. And what starts to happen when you're doing this right is you can speed up your hands. And there's specific ways, like I said, to practice this that are going to move you along faster. And if you just think about a lick, I'm getting this alternate picking going. Right? And I just start going a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is coordinating my hands. Now the third point I want to give you about this, again, this is all under the concept of just approaching learning licks, is that you want to know how to connect them to chords. So for example, if I go back to this, there's actually a chord that I'm thinking about sort of accessing the sound of. And when students start saying, well, like I got my rhythm going really good and now I'm gonna switch over to this lead mode, that process in itself is failing guitar players. I mean, think about this for a second. You don't go into a music store and say, hi, I would like to buy a rhythm guitar. Oh, we don't have rhythm guitars, we only sell lead guitars. Like, it just doesn't exist. You buy a guitar. And so what players need to understand is that rhythm and lead always need to be taught together. They're like the yin and yang of guitar. So those are just a couple tips that I would recommend to start breaking out into more adventurous soloing and improvising. And if you want to go deeper with this, then go to johnmclennan.com/bluescales and get your hands on my free blues scale PDF guide. This is going to show you the easiest and fastest ways to play the blues scale up and down the neck, which just ties right in with soloing. In fact, it's a fundamental. You've got to know this, and it's what Jimi Hendrix used, Eric Clapton, B.B. King, and all the blues masters. Just go to johnmclennan.com/bluescales and grab that now as my gift to you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you might like this one next.